I welcome you all to this online training workshop. I would like to thank our esteemed director, Mrs. Nisha Peshin, for giving us an opportunity to interact with each other and share our experiences. I would also like to thank Principal of Hansraj Public School and our cluster head, Mrs. Jaya Bhardwaj, for arranging a platform like this. When there was a lockdown, ma'am said that the show must go on and arranged for regular online classes for her students. So today, it would have been better if we would have been face to face, sitting in a school or in a hall and talking to each other. But due to COVID times, we have to take this online workshop. So as per DAV traditions, let's begin with the Gayatri Mantra.
ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्.
So I would like to introduce myself. I am Sangeeta Verma from Hansraj Public School. I have been teaching here since last 20 years and teaching is my passion. Now, before we start further, I would like to ask you a few questions. If you are a teacher, is there any child in your class who seldom does his homework? Or on a PTM, does it happen that the parents walk into your class with a box full of complaints? Or the parents bring the child late to school? Or do you have a parent who is so worried about the poor grades of the child, though the child is very intelligent? Now, the common factor between all these questions and the issue is there is a problem with parenting. The parents are not properly engaged with their children, so they may be facing these problems. And here comes our role. We have to guide the parents to work according to the school and our requirements. So before we do that, we should try to understand that what is the attitude of the parents, what is the role of the parents, and what are the types of parenting styles. So let's discuss the parenting styles. The first one is authoritarian parent. They make rules and enforce them. They are very strict parents and they do not consider the child's opinion. The children may come out to be liars. The next type of parenting style is authoritative parent. Now, in this, the parent invests in time and energy. This prevents behavioral problems in children. So, it's a good parenting style. The children are happy, successful, and good at decision making. The next parenting style is permissive parenting. They do not encourage too much and do not put too much effort into their child's upbringing. They do not discourage poor decision making also. So the children may end up making poor decisions in life and later on may not accept authority, maybe authority of their boss or maybe someone else. And the last parenting style is uninvolved parents. Now, these type of parents expect the children to raise themselves. They may have lack of knowledge about child's development. The children may grow up with low self-esteem. So, to build a relationship with the parents, we need to understand them. Only then we can help them and sort out their problems. So now let's watch a PPT. The topic for today is positive parental engagement to foster effective learning, right? So what do you see in this picture? It's a happy family where the parents are helping to learn the child. The child is working with parents' collaboration. So this is something ideal we would like to have. Now, if the parents are like this, we do not need to bother. But the problem is when the parents are not involved. Now, the teaching is not a magic pill. It's a teamwork. Parents and teachers are two legs of the child. Without each, the child cannot do, and the child will not grow properly and move ahead. Some parents involve themselves with the child's learning, while others do not. Before you engage the parents, make your plans clear based on lots of research. It should be practical and fruitful. There should be no gaps between the plan and the implementation. Keep in mind the needs of the child and limitations of the parents. Now, the question is, why do we need to engage the parents? What are the benefits? If we engage the parents, it is going to benefit the child, the parent, and the teacher. Engaging parent means that we are involving them in educational activities. So how does it benefit the child? It improves the child's growth, the child's mental and physical development. The child will be happy and confident once the child knows he is supported from the teacher as well as the parent. No child would like to come to school without homework. And it is obviously at this stage parents' duty to get the homework done. Now, what are the benefits for the parents? Parents will learn to help and support child's education. They would get a fair idea if they talk to you about what is to be done. And if you explain things nicely and you are clear with your thoughts, they will value and appreciate school education. But for this, you have to be very confident and clear with your methods and your plans. And definitely, it benefits the teacher also. How will it benefit the teacher? It enhances and complements school teaching. So, helping parents, engaging parents would definitely be a help to you. And you will get more time to focus on teaching. Otherwise, if the children are not able to learn, you will have to keep on going on with the revisions. For example, if you give child some words to learn, so you have done good revision in the class, good skills, drills in the class, but the child is still not able to learn because it takes a lot of time to remember things. So if the same words, the same drill is done at home also, the child will do better, and next day you can move on to another chapter or the new words. Interacting with parents will help you to learn about their problems. Some parents may have problems at home, and that will make you look at the child from a different view. Sometimes you may feel the child is never well dressed, he's never got his haircut done, but when you come to know, oh, there's such a big problem in his house, maybe you'll give other suggestions, maybe you'll think on different lines then. So involved parents will have a positive view of the teacher. Now, whenever we are also involved in anything and we positively, constructively do something, we feel better, we feel happy. The parents, they'll come to know that something is, yes, going on in the school. Oh, yes, we should also participate. So they will also be engaging with their children. So for this, we have to develop a teacher-parent relationship. How can we do that? Now, as soon as you are allotted a class, contact the parents. It may be through a PTM, it may be through WhatsApp or any other media, so that the parents build a rapport and faith with you. Both of you have similar roles and goals, which should supplement each other. Engage parents so that it complements and enhances school teaching. Now, feedback by the teachers is very important. Do not always try to please the parents by saying the child is doing well, you don't need to do anything, I will take care of the child. No. The parent's role has to be done and your role is also defined. Whatever the problem the child is facing, the parent should know about it and has a right to know about it. Issues of the children also need to be discussed by the parents. Suppose there's a problem a parent is facing, watching simple problems like watching too much of TV or not eating healthy food, having problem with tiffins and all. So with an open ear, with an open eye, you should always look into it. Try to look into the matter. Do take it seriously, whatever it is. Just try to handle it. An open atmosphere is required for both parents and teachers. There should be an environment where the parents feel free to discuss with you. Do not snub the parents. Communicate effectively through PTMs, apps like maybe Snap homework, where you can write maybe on the diary, or you can write homework on the Snap, and then you can publish newsletters and you can use other social media to make the parent aware of what is happening in the school and the class. Avoid negative feedback as it will discourage the parents. But earlier we discussed that we should only give positive feedback. No. Negative feedback has to be given, but in a very polite way. If the parent walks in and you start off, your child is very bad, he cannot do anything, not able to do his work, is not able to do reading, is not able to focus, obviously the parent will also feel that the child is good for nothing and stop focusing on the child. So you can say like this, your child is very friendly. He has made lots of friends, but needs to focus a little more on reading skills. So please try to do some reading activities and suggest some reading activities with the child and the parent can do together at home. Give the parents a peek into the classroom. Like I'm sure you all must be doing, send photographs of the activities, send videos of the activities done in the class. Maybe you can call the parents one day to the class and they can do some activities along with the children. So the parents should know what's happening in the class, because that's how they are going to copy and do at home. So focus on the personalized needs of the children. You can give one assignment, okay, everyone will do reading, but maybe there are some children in the class who need to develop other skills also. So try to focus on what is the requirement of the child. So now we have to engage parents. And how can we engage the parents? Parents to help the children. How will they help and how can they build a bond of work? For example, they can learn new words to enrich vocabulary. Parents can help with home assignments. Parents can help for evaluation also. Now, how will they help with home assignments? It's not only doing the homework, but how the homework is done. Sometimes you'll find the parents only do the homework, or they may say, okay, it's okay, just give it, even if you do, it's okay. Don't do, it's okay. Then I'll just call up your ma'am and say that today you couldn't do it. No, you have to be very strict, and the role of the parents should be very defined. While doing homework, they should sit on a proper table, there should be no noise around, and they should be focusing and keeping their notebooks clean and doing it in neat and legible handwriting, or whatever activity you have assigned should be done properly. And then preparing for evaluation, at this point also children will need their parents' help. Obviously, they are too small and will not be able to do it themselves. Evaluation would be like hearing a rhyme or a story, or maybe alphabet, or maybe numbers or something like that. So the parents should do a little bit of preparation beforehand. Helping in the online projects, like you can give a project, like if whatever subject is going on, whatever topic is going on, you can give, like they can make models and charts for the class. For example, if you are doing water, they can make sources of water, a chart, maybe a project, maybe a model, which would really involve the parent and the child. So at home also, you've given everything in the class, you've given all the information in the class, but we can't sit and make models every time. Yes, we are doing a lot of activities in the class, but it has to be supplemented at home also. They can actually go around and see parts of plant and then later on make charts or make models also. There are few examples, animals and their homes, and etc. I'm sure you can come up with many more ideas. But the aim is to involve the parents. Making props for reciting rhymes and narrating stories. You are having a rhyme day or a storytelling time. You have done enough rhymes in the class. So you can say, now you have to look for a rhyme from the net, and your parents are going to help you to do this and learn the rhyme, so that they make new things and learn new poems from other places also. They can go to a library, hunt for stories, and things like that. Then, suppose you are doing a topic on food. It would be a good idea if the parents are involved in some cold cooking. The children would really enjoy and, yes, learn about the healthy ways of eating. Now, some more ways how to engage parents. Now, parents, when they are engaged and when they see their children performing well, they should always try to reward. How can they reward the child? When they say, okay, the ma'am has reported me that you have really done well in the class today. Your rhyme was very good. Your story was very good. Okay, I'm going to take you out for a play in the park. Okay, I am going to bake a cake for you. So this is how they can reward their children. So reading together bedtime stories with the children are also very important. Children can play board games, especially during COVID-19 times when the children cannot go out. It would be a good idea to suggest parents to play games like Ludo, you know, maybe Chinese checker or whatever simple games the parents can play. Because end of this session, I'm going to tell you about one or two more games also, which parents can comfortably and easily make at home and play with the children. And then, because now obviously they can go out and play also, but we can't go out and play, so it can be some yoga time along with the parents, so parent and child can sit together and do some yoga and inculcate good values as you are doing in the school. That is very important. In the school, we are having morning prayers, moral stories. Before we eat, we have our prayers. Before we disperse, we have our prayers. So the parents should also try to do this at home and narrate stories which have good values. Maybe the stories of epics or any other stories. And doing enrichment activities is also very important, like visiting a library, visiting a park, sightseeing. So you cannot do this in the school. This you have to suggest the parents to do it. And what they can do in return is get pics for you so that you know what they were doing. And then you can have a talk when they went to the park or sightseeing. They can show you pictures, make a picture collage, and you can display it in the class. Okay, this child had gone to this beautiful hills of Dehradun and here is a collage made. So you can have things like that in the class. And invite parents to school for talks. So we should try to use the skills of the parents. So maybe having doctors in the class, you can invite them for a talk on health and hygiene, a dentist who would tell the children how to brush their teeth, a police personnel who would tell them about the traffic rules, a psychologist. We recently invited, when the schools were open, a psychologist parent who told the children about being safe, the good touch and the bad touch. So you can also do this. I'm sure you will be having parents of from all sorts of backgrounds and professions. So it's a good idea to interact with them, and the other children would also like, maybe you have a army personnel or maybe you have a soldier or something like that, some parent who have really done something outstanding. Or simply you can call grandfathers, grandmothers on grandmother day, and they can come and narrate their experiences and maybe stories of their own childhood. Now, before engaging the parents, their role should be very clear. So it's your duty to tell the role and make them aware of their role. So it should not be that the parents are practicing something else and doing something else. So they should be a role model. Often it happens that when the bell rings at home, the parents say, "Beta, go and say I am not at home." Or when the phone rings, just see and say that I am not at home. I'm busy with some work. So parents notice this. Please don't touch the screen. Someone is touching the screen. So we have to be a good role model and share personal experiences. Children love to hear the experiences of their parents. Talk to the child. What we are doing is, as parents also we are doing this, and our parents, the parents of our children are also doing this, sitting in front of the TV, watching serials, movies, and on WhatsApp. WhatsApp is such a big problem. So during that time, it's better you don't do so much of WhatsApp and talk to the child. You can give the suggestion to the parents. Even you must have noticed when they come for PTM, they are busy on WhatsApp rather than hearing other problems which they may be sharing with their child. So they're always busy on WhatsApp. So less of WhatsApp and talking more to the child. More important, listen to the child. When the child comes back home from school, is full of stories, maybe wants to tell something that happened in the class or in the bus or maybe during the recess time, but the parents will say, okay, later on, not now, bus abhi nahi. So that's not good. So parents should always, you should suggest the parents that please listen to the child. Maybe child is telling you about some activity which happened in the school and you can also do it. So that's how the parent will come to know what's happening in the school. And obviously, they have to be good friends. Good friends means not too much liberal, as we discussed in the parenting style. They should be a little strict whenever it's required, but yes, should be on friendly terms. Give quality time to the child. Now, quality time means, like, I can give you one example. I had a parent who was working and used to come back home at 6 o'clock. Now she was very guilty that she's there busy with the office at till 6 o'clock and the child is suffering with the studies. So immediately when she used to come back home, she used to make the child sit with her and do the homework. The child never used to like this. The child actually wanted to talk to the mother, not do the homework. So she discussed this problem with me, and I told her that when you come back from the office, you are passing on the stress to the child. So rest, de stress yourself, talk to the child, and then start doing the homework. Spend some quality time. It's not that, please do not feel guilty if you're working, but yes, working should be a compliment to the child. Set up a daily routine should be very important. If the child doesn't have a good routine in the house, it's going to affect your class the next day. The child sleeps at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, watching movie with the parents. And what happens in your class? The child will feel sleepy. Give emotional support. Speak positively about the school. How will they speak positively about the school? How will they not nag about you? If they find you are really good, you are well planned, you are meticulous, you are confident, and you know your work well. So this is a recent study where it is shown that when the parents were involved, there were noticeable results in the students. Involvement areas were children were looked well into the dressing and health and hygiene. Parents were helping with the homework, with the projects, and inquired what's happening in the class. The results were children were responding well, became physically more active, and they were found to be enthusiastic and more confident. Positive attitudinal changes were observed, and what we want is academic performance improved. So that was our target. Now, during this, we are going to face some challenges like attitude of the teachers and the parents. We are not there to draw daggers with them. We are not going to fight, but our goal is common. We have to work towards the betterment of the child. Now, even if the parents are a bit rude to you, they are not ready to listen, please be patient with them. Look for help, maybe the principal, maybe the counselor, maybe the other parents, and guide, because our aim and our focus should be engaging and guiding them. Lack of proper communication. Communicate properly with clarity. Whatever you want to done, get done, whatever is your plan, it should be clear and be conveyed with clarity. And do not ignore the feedback of the parents. If the parents find they are not able to do some particular activity you have assigned them, the child is not benefiting, change your plan and enforce your policy, because that's very important. You are telling about 100 things to the parent to do with the child, but the parent is not doing even one, because the problem is there where the parents are not involved. Where the parents are involved, they are doing very well. So we have to focus more where the parents are not involved. So be strict and keep getting the feedback, maybe in form of pictures, maybe in form of phone calls, whatever way you think is the best. Serious evaluation of action plan, and if you feel your action plan is not working, evaluate it, remake it, redo it. So here are some pictures from my class where the parents are engaged. So I make sight words in my class and tag my class with all these words. So the same is done by the parent at home. See, they are tagging all the household objects. So the child is learning at home and at school also. We celebrated Environment Day, and this homework was assigned that they would go home and make something which is related to the plants. So here, mother and child make a card. Now this is a family which is playing Scrabble together, because here I felt the reading skills of the child and the language skills of the child need improvement. So I suggested and I asked them to send me pics to ensure they were doing it. And here the parents are just simply invited to school and enjoying a dance together, the parent and the child. And as I told you, we had a psychologist who was a parent. She came, she was very sweet. She came for a talk and told the children about being safe and about the good touch and the bad touch. So this view you can get of my class. We had a class show in which we involved so many parents. This time we decided that we'll make a group of parents who would do everything. The show, the rehearsals were done in the class, and the parents were invited for a PTM. We gave them free liberty to make groups. They made groups. One group was in charge of the dresses, the others were in charge of the makeup, others were in charge of the props, some were in charge of the decoration of the stage. So we all worked together as a family, and the results were outstanding. See, you can see so many parents together with the children. This is the finale we had now. This is a picture of the finale. So grandfather is telling a story in the class, and see how proud the child feels and how proud the grandfather feels. Saying a story in the grandson's class. So here, parents are celebrating Teach along with the teachers and the children. So mehndi applying and the swings and other things were organized. Now, as virtual online classes are going on, so the children cannot do without parents' help. So this is a class going on, and the mother is monitoring the class. Now a child is making a project for an exhibition with mother's help. And here's a beautiful video I would like to share before we finish off with the time. Grandmother is working with the child because the mother is working and was busy. So this grandmother is helping.
Dad.
Very good. Well done.
Go. Tag.
Good.
Cat. T. No. Pan.
Very Clap for yourselves.
So I hope you enjoyed watching this video. So we are back. I hope you enjoyed the session. And as I promised, I'm going to show some games which I have designed for the parents to play with the students. Now, these are very easy games you must have come across but never played them. So this is dot to dot, join the box. Dot to dot game, can you all see it? Dot to dot game can be played at home with the family. We can have 2 or more players in the game. Each player has to draw a line and try to make a box. If the box is made, then initials are written in the box. It's a great way to strengthen hands and finger muscles in the preparation for writing. Children use their thinking skills and make strategies. It's a fun game which the children will enjoy playing. Another very common game is tic-tac-toe. This can be played anywhere. It's a noughts and crosses game. It's a game for 2 players who take turns marking the spaces. The player who succeeds in placing 3 marks in a horizontal, vertical, or diagonal row is the winner. This game can be played at home or also during the traveling. The child will apply logic and learn to prepare a strategy. So another very easy game is this. This is called bingo or tambola. So here, according to my class requirement, I have written the words. So this, the mother is going to give to the child and she is going to call out a word, ham. So child has to read and see where it is placed. Okay. So place it here and say bingo. Another word, so it has to be placed. So as we are running short of time, so I'm not going to do the other words. So there are simple games which you can suggest the parents and you can suggest some projects and activities. So I hope you learned something new